Ya estamos en vivo.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this podcast. We are really excited to be here. My name is Mario, and I am co-founder of Wolves and Mermaids. This movement aimed to reunite the community towards creating a beautiful reality that we know we all deserve. And in this session, this is the fourth podcast, and the pleasure revolution, community leadership, and the new paradigm. What do you think about that? We have been progressing in this Erotic Intelligence Week towards now talking about another topics, deep dive that will be embracing how from loneliness to legacy and the sexual rebirth and the wealth, the sexual rebirth of wealth and influence. So hello, Aleck, how are you, brother?
Hey there, doing great.
Excellent. And also welcome to the founders, Annapurna and Yusef. How are you all?
Hola a todos.
Doing
Buenas
great,
noches.
thank you.
Qué gusto verles. Emocionado.
Yeah, thank you, Yus. Just in time, arriving to Mexico City from Puerto Escondido, driving all day. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for being here. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and we're going to start by having a brief meditation. What do you think about that?
Beautiful.
Sounds great.
Excellent. So
Good.
let's go. I will guide it, and it's just going to take 2 minutes. Let's close our eyes, straight our back. If we can gently place our foot on the floor, or if you are in lotus, better. Let's put our shoulders a little bit towards the back to allow the free flow of energy through our spine and the air through our body. And let's do deep inhalations and exhalations. Inhaling, holding a bit, and exhaling and relaxing. We exhale. Let's relax the body and the tension in the body. Inhaling again, feeling the freshness of the air, the coolness, holding a bit, and exhaling, and perhaps doing a ha. Relax. Inhale. Hold. And relax even more. Relax the mind. Relax the emotions. Continue at your own pace, inhaling deeply. Holding a bit. Exhaling. And now visualize also the energy, the free flow of energy coming up and coming down your spine. Visualize coming in, coming up when you inhale. And while you exhale, visualize the energy coming downwards your spine, and all the kundalini is activating. Inhaling, coming from the root chakra upwards to the corona chakra, to the top of the head, holding, and exhaling, and downwards from the top of the head to the root chakras. Inhaling, relaxing. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And let's relax also the root chakra, especially perineum and anus. Relax that area. Allow yourself to be present. Perhaps you want to bring a little smile. and enjoy. Excellent. Whenever you feel ready, open your eyes to begin this beautiful session.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you. So let's begin. So welcome again, all of the audience as well, the people enjoying, the people that is willing to do the changes and do the walking of the walk and changing to deserve what we know we deserve in this reality. We know we have to do the effort. We have to change the habits and the mindset and perhaps all the paradigms and all the indoctrination that we have as a gift of beliefs, of mindset, and many, many things. We are changing and creating what we want to create, applying the free will. So this is going to be a mastermind, a podcast format made mastermind where we all answer the questions that I have here for you. So I am going to start as I see you in my Zoom camera. And we're going to start with Aleck, then Annapurna, then Yusef, and then me. And let's start with the first question. And let's begin saying very, very briefly, remember 2 minutes rounds, talking about ourselves, a little bit who we are and what do you do. So please go ahead, Aleck. Welcome, brother.
Beautiful. Thank you for the warm introduction as well. Let me make sure that I get the timing right. All right, so who am I? It's such a, some people would think that that's a simple question, but for me, such a complicated thing to just kind of box myself into a simple answer as who am I. But for the time being, I will say I'm a guy that is passionate about expanding knowledge on how to just feel better, how to have a better life, and how to just be better. So I am a sound healer. I have a certification of sound healer, and I also guide breathwork and ice bath. So I'm able to kind of mix the two of them. So I do breathwork and I complement it with the sound just to provide an experience for people that is quite different. And in my free times, I like to believe that I'm an artisan. I like to create a lot of instruments and just other things, just as my personal hobby.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Welcome.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Anna. Welcome.
Hello there. I'm Annapurna. I'm from India and I'm very passionate about the Oaxacan coast of Mexico since about 7 years now. And I have a project there and I'm very passionate to safeguard nature and indigenous culture in that area. For work, I create and sell Ayurvedic meals for digital nomads and backpackers. I have a website where I help indigenous people become economically sovereign by selling their wares and without a middleman. And lastly, I have a YouTube channel where I explore my heritage, indigenous wisdom from India, the Vedas, indigenous music, art, and dance, and also other indigenous people's wisdom from all over the world. That's me. And I'm here today because I'm interested in men and women coming together as a community. And I feel that on the internet, we don't have that or any kind of example for that in a healthy way. And I want to promote that. And we have a small movement, but it's mighty. and that's why I'm here. So very glad to meet Aleck today, and of course my brothers Mario and Yusef. Blessing.
Thank you, Ana. Adelante, Yus.
Hola, hola a todos. ¿Qué onda? My name is Yusef. I consider myself as an old wild wolf soul. I love to surf. I love to climb the mountains. And today I am in the journey of building my legacy. So I spent years in trying to scale the corporate business scene. And I led some ventures there that lead me to big negotiations and crafting amazing business systems. But at the end, I felt that it doesn't matter what material things I could accomplish, I wasn't happy. And like 10 years ago, a sudden transformation happened in my life. A Ponzi fraud literally put me into my knees. I was part of something that took all my investments and all the money I have back in 2016. It was a great adventure. Now, from that moment, I decided to transform myself and become a trauma coach. That's what I'm still in the journey of. And well, today I name myself also as a technology weaver. I love to weave alternative medicine. I love AI, I love crypto and all the philosophy behind blockchain and Bitcoin. And also today I founded a digital marketing agency that helps holistic businesses to have more impact through integrating these technologies together. And yeah, well, I also love Toltec cultures, ancestral cultures from Mexico, and I am here in Wolves and Mermaids to promote a safe space where like-minded entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors in the holistic realm can share wisdom in order to ascend together. So thank you.
Thank you, beautiful brother. My name is Mario. I am a Mexican guy, 43 years old, father of a child, and I am a connector. I am in the process of waking up, realizing all the magnitude that we are. Just having a little grasp of that makes me really, really excited, and also knowing what I have been also before, and I don't identify with that, not much anymore, and having to pass all that pain and dark night of the soul and a lot of traumas. Remembering also I was born by cesarean and I was traumatized, also circumcised just when I was born in a hospital. And I know all that information is perhaps inside in some of my psyche, but now I'm healing and realizing that I am much more than that, and also in the process of allowing to forgive myself and stepping forward for what is next, that which is beautiful. So this is how I am right now. And what do I do is also connecting with the people, connecting with my family, and embracing together this new reality, and knowing that we have everybody have a gift to deliver, a message to deliver. I am here also to remember it myself, and also to allow the people to remember it, all that is there to serve together and create together where it's coming, which is beautiful. Excellent. So I know we all have a lot to deliver, and I'm really excited for what's been becoming this podcast. Pleasure as Power podcast is the name of our podcast. And in this week, we've been traveling around and through the erotic intelligence, realizing how this energy is really, 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 really powerful, and literally manifests things that also are connected with our thoughts and with our intentions, and also what we think, but also what we eat, what we interact with our senses and our decisions. And this session, specifically this session that is towards more community and leadership and creating together a new paradigm. No, this is a real revolution through pleasure, not through guilt or through another shame and another dark emotions, could say, or low emotions, but the highest emotions. And we have a beautiful guest. We have the opportunity to know just recently, but perhaps we know from each other, we know from another and other times, no? And I connect a lot with breathing, and Alex know how to make the people breathe really, and it's a gift to meet people like you, Alex. So we're going to together answer this question that we're going to begin with you, Alex. How does a community of liberated sovereign beings create exponential wealth and impact? So go ahead, brother.
Thank you. Well, I think first and foremost, we have to define what wealth is. You know, wealth for me may be differently than wealth for somebody else. So, to answer your question, on my point of view, how does wealth play a part into a sovereign community? For me, wealth is not necessarily in what the numbers of my bank account mean or are. For me, wealth is being able to wake up every morning, going out of my room, stepping out barefoot, and stumble across a mango tree, pick one up, and eat it on my way to walk my dog out. For me, that's being extremely wealthy. Um, so as a community, I think how to bring wealth for everybody is by starting to think about everybody as your own as well. You know, there's people that are interested in pursuing money, and they're gonna work their 9 to 5 jobs or even longer than that, and they're gonna work themselves out, and that's what they believe that wealth is. So then, okay, that's your reality, that's your way, that's your path, that's your purpose, and that's okay. So I think coming together as a humanity is understanding that, hey, I've got my purpose in life, and this is how I am going to live it. This is what wealth is truly for me. And this guy may have his opportunity in life, and this is what wealth is for him. How do we make it exponentially? Well, we just should support one another with whatever that may be for you as a person on wealth. I think that for me is the best way to describe how you can have more. Well, just trust that what you have, not everybody wants, and they're gonna do their very best to thrive at what they're gonna think wealth is at. But it's just different points of view.
Amazing. Thank you. Annapurna, please go ahead.
Thank you. So, I'm gonna take the example of one of the ancient societies in Hawaii, the island of Molokai. So, at the peak of Hawaiian civilization, let's say about 1,500 years ago, one of the smallest islands, Molokai, of the chain of Hawaiian islands, used to supply the entire islands with all the islands with their food. So I think it was feeding over 100,000 people. And the hula, the Hawaiian traditional and sacred dance, was born there, and also the schooling, the Hawaiian schooling, and the method of healing, which Ho'oponopono is one of them, but they have lomi lomi, which is massage, and so on and so forth. They're all from Molokai. And the reason I bring Molokai up is it was the standard, the Hawaiian standard, so to speak. And that's the closest that I have seen to an example of liberated and sovereign beings. And talk about exponential wealth in the days where food is money. They were feeding 100,000 people. I mean, not even the islands of Maui or Oahu were creating that much food, and they didn't have educational centers. And I want to mention a last thing that they did that made them stand out is about that time 1,500 years ago, the Tahitians invaded, and it was not even fighting men. It was women and children essentially who held hands, and they started chanting their sacred chants. And this created a force field, an invisible force field that caused the Tahitians to hit and smack themselves against it and fall back, and their spears wouldn't go through it. And that's how I think around 500 years more, Hawaii remained liberated, as long as that people and their energy survived. So that's an example that I wanted to bring to the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Annapurna, for sharing that. Adelante, Yus.
Great. Okay, so I think I will tell a story about Bali, and I think that a community like that, if I can find a community that is liberated, that is sovereign, and how can this can create an impact, I believe this can really change the world. And yeah, I think everything starts when I arrived to Bali and I went to green school and see all the philosophy behind it. I understand that first, in order to change something, I have to change to myself, right? So start from within, and then connect with the external world, probably with a partner in business, or your partner in love, or your business partners, and then probably the neighbors in your city, and then the world, right? I love that way of how the things work there. So I think it is a blend of holistic approach of gathering all us together with wealth is not the same for everyone, but I think the vision can really be the same, or going to the same place. And for example, the impact of Bali in the world is like they have reached more than 80 students that have reached a lot of good architectural designs in the world that are designed for not leaving carbon footprints and to be an add to the place instead of taking from the place. So I think that's going to relate with that for me, and in my own experience, that when we gather with people that is walking to this liberation, to just be sovereign in everything, in your light, in the water, in the food, in the thoughts, in your community, and then it is applied to some project, for example, like real estate, I think it is magical. So yeah, just to wrap it up, I think it's that, by working from the inside and then starting to work with the community. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, to me, it starts with oneself. It starts individually from inside, and as a toroid, from the inside to the outside, and also from the outside to the inside, and how is he inside is outside, and how is above is below. And begins with my own belief. And if I feel I am wealthy, then I think I believe I will connect with another people, another group, another community that also is vibrating in that. And it's a state of being wealthy is just believing in it, not interfering, not emotionals, not low emotions interfering that self beliefs. I think in nature we have a lot of blessings. When we put a seed, then we don't get one fruit, we sometimes get thousands and thousands, and the potential is there. And in that way I feel blessed by nature, and from all time blessed by consciousness. The problem is that I have fell in that limited belief that tells me that I am not worthy, or there is scarcity and whatever. And my responsibility, as we have talked all through this podcast, that doesn't matter how it was in the past, doesn't matter how it's going to be also in the future, but to me it's how I feel this moment. And if I feel prosperous and wealthy, could be in money, could be in all the blessings that I have air, that I have food, that I have my health, that I have my clarity in my mind, that I can connect all the beauty that I know is outside also from the inside, is how all the community is going to create everything as also synergic impulses, no? One plus one is equal to plus 2 or 3. 1 plus 1 is 3. So to me is that we are wealthy from always, from before time. So excellent answering. Thank you so much for sharing. Also, the people that is seeing this podcast, it's also the potential to share, no? What is your beliefs? in these aspects that we're sharing in this podcast. It's moment to realize that it begins with you. Please share your comments in the podcast, wherever you are looking at this podcast. Please let us know how do you feel about this. So let's continue to the next question. And again with Aleck, please. So why owning, talking about the network effect of pleasure, incorporating this emotion of pleasure, how owning your power attracts powerful allies or allies and lovers and opportunities. Go ahead, Aleck.
Yeah, I think pleasure, it's a thing that we sometimes look upon as a bad thing or a guilt. And the pleasure doesn't always have to be coming from a place of guilt. So when we network, when we are doing our day to day and we decide, I'm going to give myself this pleasure, I'm going to go buy this cookie, and you give yourself that pleasure, I think that it just brings that security in you. It brings that knowing that you can do that for yourself. So in a way, that's why it becomes attracting for other people when you own your power, when you know what you can bring to the world, when you know where you are standing. It's evident that the people that are around you that are in the search, maybe in that same path that you are at, or maybe they're in the search of inspiration, and they see you, they understand, okay, this person is balanced. It's not going pleasure all the time, but it's also allowing what he deserves, or what he or she feels like they deserve. It's allowing it to happen. So I think that just becomes an automatic attraction. Name it lovers, name it work, name it whatever. And obviously opportunities start to arise, because you know that you're balanced, you know that you're aligned, and you know that your purpose and what you're doing is for a greater good. So everything just kind of, the rest of it just kind of happens as a magnet, so to speak.
Beautiful, bro. Thank you. Go ahead, Anna.
Thank you. Uh, so I agree a lot with what Alex said about the attraction factor. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a magnetic personality. I think that when that most of us were not actually that good at lying. That whatever we feel, we portray, and most people pick it up subconsciously, even if they're not willing to say it. And this is what creates either a magnetized or a demagnetized personality. And a magnetic personality attracts, like attracts like. So perhaps high achieving individuals and opportunities, and maybe the same individual would be inclined to give an opportunity to you when you are content, when you are pleased to be living life, when you don't look like you'd rather not be here, essentially. And that doesn't mean to fake it. It's just the truth behind it, that like attracts like, and subconsciously people are attracted or magnetized to that kind of personality. So owning your own power. So, but then the whole $1 million question is, how do you own your power, right? I'm just saying the effect of owning one's own power, and I don't think it's a college degree that you graduate and now you own your power for life. We have degrees of it. Maybe you came to a certain point, and then now, it's like, oh well, I need to own my power some more. Like in my case, I've been discussing, maybe not watching so much YouTube. Um, that's it. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful reflection. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Go ahead, Yusef.
I've been loving your answers. I'm just taking a lot of notes. Thank you. Okay, so for me, I think I have a lot of clarity here. My ups and downs in my business journey, my life journey, my couple journey, and all my stuff, I think they are pretty related when how much pleasure I was giving to myself, or celebrating my wins and all that stuff. And Yeah, and well, I'm going to put some examples of in my own journeys that I believe that when I was working more and cultivating my energy and doing this type of events and knowledge, it was very powerful for one of my businesses in the holistic realm because it exploded in one point. And it was like a circular effect between all the people that were around this, right? It was like something really magical. And also checking some examples that you know that I'm in the AI world and I love to do some disruptive things there. So I just want to do a glimpse that I'm combining AI with accessing dark web files of the truth. That's the name of the places, the files of the truth. And there are a lot of people that work behind this type of information, like Nikola Tesla. There's a lot of papers there that they always were practicing this type of sexual transmutation and channeling this energy to induce these scientific breakthroughs and all that stuff. And also people like Steve Jobs creating these trillionaire companies all around the world. So Napoleon Hill, I mean, a lot of these type of businessmen that created big networks of people, marketing, philosophy, brand, anyway. So I believe that in the holistic world, if we manage to gather people in the holistic world, we can have this type of networks that could create companies like Apple, but more holistic. Thank you.
Thank you, Yus. Yeah, everything is interconnected, but the effect of pleasure, I think, is vibrating high and changing the vibration instead of feeling fear and attracting fear, or feeling guilt and attracting more of that. Because I think this resonance also, no? I believe that's so profound in myself. And talking also of these indoctrinations and this mindset, and now the time of realizing how we create the universe, starting with the reality outside of us, that we can change our physicality too. No? I love to meditate. I love to do yoga. This morning I was in the beach, enjoying the sun, my skin, enjoying the asanas in yoga, enjoying the breathing, enjoying this feeling of when I exhale and stop breathing, and that feeling of realization and fulfillment is amazing. And starting with that pleasure. But what about this effect on pleasure and owning my power? As Annapurna said, we are in the process, and I'm in the process of owning my own power. And when I reach that state, that for now I get to that state just a few moments of my day. But what if I can live in that state always, the 24/7? Then the real journey begins. And I think we are entering that state with this awakening in myself and what I see around me, connecting with people, connecting with another persons in the whole world. No? So this, of course, is going to be a magnet. Of course, is going to attract everything that I want. So this is how I am so excited to meet more people with my mindset, my vibrations, and also connecting with people that is much more advanced than me, and that perhaps than the movement that we're creating. And I know that we are going to connect with that people that are already creating communities and creating them in the philosophy, but also creating it in the architecture. No? So before I was sharing, before we entered the podcast, sharing the AI and these images created by AI, and putting all this creativity to create the renders of the beautiful cities that we are going to create. So it's all about that, connecting the pressure to the power and attracting all that is coming through that. So excellent. Let's do that. Let's continue the journey. And let's go to the fourth question of this mastermind. And let's talk about more sacredness in the community. So this next question is how sacred community and collaboration replace transactional relationships and empathy hustles. So please go ahead, Aleck.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think first and foremost we have to think about how community is not a it's a word that nowadays it's becoming popular, but community has been happening for many years, and our ancestors, this is how they this is why it was called a sacred ceremony, because it was a place where they would gather in community to listen to one another, to play music with one another, to talk about what was going to happen the following day, to talk about plans to and so forth. So, I mean, it's not that community is coming back. It's just that we forgot for so many years that that's how we are supposed to be living community, where everybody helps, where everybody succeeds, where everybody has a place and a purpose. So taking this as a base, I think if we just go back to the basics, go back to how it was, go back to literally thinking about how you can help the next person. The sound healings that I host and the breathworks that I host, I open it in a voluntary contribution scenario. And the reason for me doing that is because I just want people to be part of that. It doesn't necessarily have to do with how much money they have in their pocket. I want them to feel part of this community, part of this breathing community, where they go there for an hour and a half, and when they leave, they feel a lot better than how they when they arrived. So, and I think that thought is just transformational. When you think it's not about me getting the full piece of cake, it's about me sharing the pieces of cake, then there's no real empty hustle. It becomes empty when you make it about yourself, and when you make it about how much more I can get from these people or these things. That's when I think it becomes empty. But when you do it from the heart, when you do it from a place of community, from a place of I wanna help people feel as great as I feel now, then you got it all. Thanks.
Naho. Thank you, bro. Anna, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I want to bring in again the Vedas for this one. According to the Vedas, there are 4 yugas or ages, and they're called Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age, but it should be Truth Age, Silver Age, Iron Age, and Bronze Age and Iron Age. And in the age of truth, time is cyclical and not linear, and it moves through these cycles according to the Vedas, which yoga is based upon. So anyway, my point is that in the highest of the ages, the age of truth, Satyuga, the community is in a sacred spot. But we are lamentably in the Kali Yuga, where community is not sacred. So we know statistically that it's not a lack of food why people are starving in the world. It's a lack of sharing, the lack of access, and maybe that's due to the lack of love. But in the Satyuga, there would not be a starving. People would be falling over each other to give food. To the sages, to the ascetic people, the people that have maybe taken a vow that for the benefit of society, I will be an ascetic and I will just contribute my energy to the well-being of society, to creating a spiritual anti-pollution, whatever that would be, like a spiritual radiance. And so we took it upon ourselves to keep them alive. And today, you can see the classic corruption of where the tax money is spent. The money that is supposed to keep us in a community knit together is being misspent. It seems almost on purpose, as a slap in the face. So I think that returning to our core values, the core way of living, which is probably agriculture and living one with the land, and even beyond that, we have to come to heal the traumas that have made us distrust each other to the degree that there is an excess of food, yet people are starving. So these are some are systemic structures, many are internal prejudices that create a wall between us and people don't connect. And I think that, yeah, when these walls come down, we take care of each other, community becomes sacred again, and nothing is transaction in that scenario. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you, Anna. Go ahead, use.
Wow, you're going deep. I'm taking a lot of notes. Thank you for your answers. Are amazing. I've been loving that. Okay, just put my chronometer. Great. All right. So I'm going to put an example. I'm going to share screen. I was very happy to build this event with my friend Mario. Go back in 2019. This event was called Mujer Raíz, and it was amazing. More than 300 women gathering with elders from Mexico, healers, singers, and this was all about this sacred relationship of business by not putting money first. Actually, yeah, money wasn't there too much, and actually we didn't win a lot of money at the end, but um, the beginning of this was based on honesty, on true service, on building something together that was connected by love and by the heart. So I just wanted to put this example. And yeah, I also want to put some examples. I was a little big geek with this topic because I love it. So I think it works because there has to be this shared purpose and over personal gains. And I think that's very, very important. Collaboration that can fuel innovation. It's not just about just gathering and talk. It's just about see how we can really create something more creative, that can align with our intention and with our visions. And also that it is important to have this emotional and energetic support as we walk together, right? I think that's also a key in this journey. And yeah, the examples again is like the Green School of Bali or Burning Man. It's examples of okay, now it's very big, but it's examples of sacred community collaboration where yeah, it's founded on roots of doing something beyond money, right? And to end my participation, I think one of the greatest examples and how this works and with these things that I believe you have to do is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a revolutionary example of how a literally sacred, decentralized community can replace the transactional systems that we know today. Thank you.
Thank you, Yus. To me, I believe that, yeah, we have been deceived and relating it to the school and what I see now in my daughter's school, that is a Montessori, and there is no grades, there is no competition, and there is no limits then. Because if I can change that belief of that if there is a scarcity or there is only one 10 or only one A plus or a few A pluses and a lot of Fs and a lot of 6s or 7s or 5s or whatever. I think it is very related how it's changing in the school industry or that paradigm, no? Because it's an industry, and I don't know, we're changing for another paradigm. And I love to see the transformation. I think we're very, very privileged to see how the old paradigm is falling apart, is destroying in pieces, but its own weight, that was also an illusion. And what we are creating now is, oh my God, it's really, really connecting with the sacred, with the divine. And in that frequency, then how could it be different from beautiful? So my belief is in that, my trust, my self-confidence, and also my work into that, my discipline, as we have been mentioning this word throughout this week. We have to change the train path, and perhaps I should change also this belief that it's a train, huh? Because perhaps it's not that heavy, but it's also through that, and replacing what that low limited belief of taking advantage for something or someone or the nature. But what if I change that mindset and then I create another kind of transactions as Alex mentioned before, no? This trueque, giving, this giving and asking for whatever comes from the heart, and whatever comes from the heart and is connected is going to create beautiful, amazing surprises in what we receive. So giving and receiving, I think is there is the secret. Thank you for that. Well, now we're going to enter the next step, a little bit closing this beautiful session that has been a blink of an eye, and we're following perhaps yes, a belief or a path that you put on the table, which is related to having a map. Having a map is where I am right now, where am I going or where I want to go, and how am I going to get there. So this multiple question in one, also a 2-minute answer, and is about that. So let's start with Aleck. Where are you? Where are you going? How are you inspiring? How are you inspiring others? Or how are you going to get where you want to go? Go ahead, brother.
All righty. Thank you. Yeah, so I think for me in particular, if I was to sum it up, my current position, for me right now, I remember when I was a little boy, I had this thing called the dream. It was my dream. It was the dream. And my current position is actually going through that dream. So aspirations, where do I want to go from here? I have truly now believed that there are infinite possibilities available. So for me to aspire where I want to go, I will have to limit myself in a specific way. So I don't have an answer for that. I um I want to go where it feels right at this moment. Um, and well, what do I need to I need to do to get there? I think for me in this case, it's just going to be trying to stay as present with my everyday as possible, and from there, kind of learning to navigate day by day. So I think that's going to be my actions to take are just going to be consciously staying in the present, so I can keep enjoying this moment and then trust in whatever's to come. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, bro. Go ahead, Anna.
Thank you. So again, we've been here a few days discussing, and I've been thinking more on my goal of like going back to teaching yoga in Mexico, and yeah, I would like to incubate myself sort of, and just like teach yoga maybe 2 times a day, and with Mario doing the meditations, it would be awesome. That's something it was pleasant and happy to visualize today for me. And yeah, I need a little more planning. I need to sit down because these things are related to that, like childhood aspirations, and um, these things like teaching yoga is not gonna make me rich. You know what I mean? But but it's something that needs to be done. It needs to be done for something inside, something like a deep purpose within, and something related to the divine as well, like something about the divine purpose. And but at the same time, rent has to be paid, so on and so forth. So I had to, be real and sit down and be an adult about those things. Daily inspiration, I allow myself to be a child and dream. Literally, I was like, oh, how nice would it be if I just stopped being scared and just started teaching. Anyway, action steps, Yeah, daily planning, a little bit a day, and daily saving as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Go ahead, use.
Thank you. I just want to say I love what you do, Aleck, your breath work, all this thing. Also, Mario, your meditation, and Anna, all your food and all your talks. I love it. Just want to say that. Thank you. And yeah, I think for me, it's my insights for this talk was like really understanding that there's at least in my own journey, I have to make a pleasure revolution on myself, like literally do it on myself, and not just talking about the sexual part, but enjoying more life and be more connected and be more present and not be all the time behind blockchain and AI and all that all that stuff. And yeah, it's also about creating the community and being surrounded by leaders and be willing to grow and fail. And and that's what I believe is the new paradigm of trying to shift the things. How are they doing today to have different results tomorrow? And yeah, so where am I now? I think I'm at this point where I am ready to speak my truth behind what I believe it's the community where I want to live. And I'm in this place where I am vibrating the people to start walking the walk in this part, because I believe, at least for me, it's very important to have accountability. To now that Mario is in Puerto, it's been great, to have a accountability partner that is like, okay, let's do exercise, let's do this, and I really believe that being in community can help us grow. That's what I want to go. I want to be surrounded by a community that is like-minded, that we are vibing together, that we are building stuff together, in order, to just, yeah, I'm not to say the happy life, but I have experienced this type of life before, and I believe it's something that I need, I want, and also the world. So what do I need? Is just taking action, walking the walk, as I say, trying to say no to much of the things that are not serving me to go there. And yeah, my daily inspiration could be, now I was thinking about a lot of my family, that yeah, I think sometimes it's difficult to me to wake up early, for example, and I need to put this thing on my brain, like these physical things or emotional things, to just, oh, okay, let me go out of the of the bed. And today was about my family, of really taking action on trying to help them on this crazy journey that is going on around finances all over the world. And yeah, my action steps is just continue showing up. It doesn't matter if I'm tired or I drive for 12 hours. It's just continue to showing up. And because these circles really really help me to just be unaccountable, being here, speaking what I feel without feeling judged, and also learning from you and listening from you. It is amazing. I love to take notes, and yeah, that would be my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it's a paradox for me. It's confronting also, because I want everything. Of course, I want to reach every place I can reach, and if I use my imagination, well, imagine. And on the other side is I need nothing. Actually, I have everything. It's always a paradox. It's like sort of crazy, How do I integrate the language also? It's part of the awakening process. And when we open new paradigms, we have also to structure, the I don't know, the information, the sacred geometry, all these stuff's really, really profound for me, because actually there is no place to go. I've realized that. Then why is the rush then for? Why the rush? Why the anxiety? If there is no place to go, because only what exists is this and now. And perhaps it's too philosophical, because also I believe that map helps me to decide. No, if I am here, then I can decide what I want, and I want the most beautiful reality that I can, and I know I deserve. Also for me, it's also for everybody, as a family, as human family. So it's step by step, moment by moment, breathing, enjoying the breath, enjoying the no breath, realizing that we are life and it's also death in it. And what keeps me centered is knowing that everything is as it is, and that I exist beyond time. And there is no beginning, there is no end. There is only here now. And this is eternity. So this gives me the responsibility to choose step by step. And I know where I'm going. I'm going to a beautiful community, creating a beautiful world, and creating a beautiful reality for me and you and my daughter and my family. So this is really, really exciting for me. And I close with this. So excellent. Thank you for being here. And we have another extra question for you, Aleck, only for you. So go ahead, Anna.
Okay. So you have an option here, Aleck. Option A. Share something you wish someone would ask you. Always. You have always wished someone would ask you, but you haven't been asked yet. Or option B is to elaborate on your slogan, if you don't live to serve, you don't deserve to live.
Okay. I'll go with option number 2 or B.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this slogan in Spanish, it's a game of words. And in Spanish it says, si no vives para servir, no sirves para vivir, which in a way translates to what you just said in English. But for me, what this is really about is this commitment of of serving. Whenever I got the calling to do this as a life purpose, I got the commitment for it. So I think this phrase in particular just talks about how you're committed to serving, then you can really truly enjoy life. I think that's why I believe it's very powerful.
Wow, gives me chills. And closing
Love it, man. Thank you.
with this golden answer, I want to thank you all, guys, because this has been a wonderful session, and it's all about this. This is a moment. This is the place. It is here and now. So we are stepping forward to create the spaces for the people to share their own paths. Each path is so beautiful that it's worth to be known. So it's only about you, and we are continuing this. So see you tomorrow to share more. What do you say? And thank you for the audience listening to this. Thank you, Aleck. Thank you,
Thank you
Annapurna.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
want to
so
share
much,
something,
everyone.
please? Yeah. So let's close this session, giving thanks to all. See you next time in this podcast. My name is Mario. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Ya podemos platicar.
Excelente. Sí,